another operator known as the
Oh, okay,
uh,
okay.
tertiary ternary operator. Okay, so
Oh,
what
okay.
does this mean is, I'll show you. This also checks the statement validity as well.
Ah,
So I'll write
hmm.
ternary
అవును ఓకే ఓకే అవునులే అవునవును
operator. So how does this operator
షూర్ షూర్
work?
అప్పుడైనా మీరు ప్రయత్నం స్టార్ట్
First,
చేసుకుని
we need to provide a
కారు ధ్యానశీలతో కష్టమేమో
condition.
అనుకుంటున్నాను నేను అంత దూరం
So we'll use the same similar example.
జర్నీ
Okay,
మీరు అలా వచ్చే ప్లాన్ ఉంటే
so
ట్వంటీ
condition will
ఫోర్త్
write
ఈవినింగ్కే
age
వచ్చేయండి మీరు
more than equal to
అవును
18.
అవును
Now next is this question mark and colon, the both. If
షూర్
you put
షూర్
together, the
మీరు
actual
ఒక ట్వంటీ థర్డ్ కార్లో వచ్చేసి విజయవాడ
statement
కార్లో
is
సపరేట్
A
తీసుకుని మళ్ళీ ట్వంటీ
question
ఫోర్త్
mark
వచ్చేది
B
మాకు
colon
అకామిడేషన్ ఏం
C.
ప్రాబ్లం
So
లేదు
this is
ఒక
the
ట్వంటీ ఫోర్త్
way of
ఈవినింగ్
representation,
కన్ఫర్మ్గా వచ్చేస్తాం అక్కడ మన చిన్న
representing
పార్టీ
the
లాగా
ternary
వెళ్ళేసి
operator.
ఫంక్షన్
So A is the condition. Okay,
చూడండి
so condition we
బెటర్
have written.
కార్ కాకుండా
Now
ధ్యాన్
B and C is the output.
బెటర్
So if the condition is true, B will be displayed. If the condition is false,
అవునవును
C will be
అవునవును
displayed. So age
అప్పటికప్పుడు
condition
చూడండి
is this.
ఇప్పుడు చేయొద్దులేదు కరెక్ట్
B
ప్లాన్ తెలియదు
will
కదా
write can vote. Okay, just a minute. Can vote.
ఓకే ఓకే
And next will write cannot vote. Okay. Now I'll quickly comment
అదే అది
this.
నేను వచ్చా నేను వచ్చాక
Close
ఈవినింగ్ ఒకసారి చేయనా
this
మీకు
tag.
ఆఫీస్లో
I'll remove
ఇంటికి వచ్చాక నేను
this.
ఒకసారి లింక్
Just a minute.
పంపిస్తాను
Yeah.
ఓకే బాయ్
So if I save and run, you will see the outputs will be generated. Okay. There is no console. So what we'll do, we'll
screen is
put
going means
this
that recording is going.
to a
If
variable.
screen is going means recording is getting stopped.
Let's
Yeah,
say
the same thing is happening.
well.
Keep on moving the cursor.
Okay. Now we'll try to print well console log well. Okay, now the output would be generated. Yeah, so you can see age is 15, and it cannot, the statement, the condition is false, so cannot vote. So if I change it to 25, now it will be representing as can vote. So there, it works similar to the if else statement only. It's a, you can say,
Again,
it's a more
right now
compact
in
version of
Tamil Nadu,
writing an if else statement.
like 17th
Okay,
or 18th.
but in general practice of coding, we use this one more frequently than the tertiary operator. Okay, so I'll be commenting this out. So this is just for if you're writing a single line of code, I just wanted to check the output, sorry, check the condition and generate an output, then you can use this particular syntax. Otherwise, this is a very popular syntax which is used for if else statement. So you can follow this. Now you can have two more thing as well associated with the if else statement. One is the if else ladder. Okay, so what is if else ladder? Meaning, if this condition is true, you check this, or else you can add another if. Okay, so we'll write age more than equal to, you know let's say 21. We'll write another condition, console dot log can drive. Okay, can drive. Okay, so if I'll save this, so it will check both the condition. Okay, so both will be printed. So let me go back to this. Can vote, can drive. Okay. Now if I change this, let's say I'll make it 20. So only can vote will be, printed.
No, I'm
Just a minute.
today we take
Okay. So the problem is I'm writing outside the
work
block.
like
So
that.
I'll be writing
I
inside the
have to
block
move this cursor.
only. Just a minute. Yeah. Yes. So I'll change it again. We'll run that same code. Okay. 25. Save it. Yeah. Can vote, can drive. So inside this, you have to write if this condition is true, print this. Else you check the another if condition. If it's true, print this. If if none of this is true, then it will directly print false. So let me just type 16 cannot vote. Okay. So that's the another way to write your if else statement. So if you want to check two three more conditions, so you can add inside the if else statement. So is this clear, if else statement and how to use the ternary operator and all? Yes or no? Do you need more examples?
104, 104.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. So we'll proceed ahead. Now, under non-conditional statements, there are three things.
Question.
I'll write it. Sorry. First one is comment. So this we have already know. So comment meaning commenting any line. Okay. So let me
Have you
go
on
back
days,
to the
no?
theory
Stop
part
like
only.
stuff. After I fragment and not. DPS.
Yeah. So these are the three type of non-conditional statements. First one is comment, second one is break, and third one is continue.
All pictures on the
So comment, as I told you in the second or first class only, there are two type of commenting: single line comment and multi-line comment. So this we all know how to use. The one thing you should note is that as a best practice, it is recommended to use the comment for
girl,
document
boy.
purposes only, and avoid using it for code commenting. So generally, as a beginner, whenever we learn any coding language, programming language, so we face any errors. So what generally students do is
This house
they comment that line which is throwing an error, and the code will work. I mean, somehow it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So that is a very bad practice of commenting. So you should always comment for a document purpose only. So like for example, here you can see
Oh,
this is a comment
the shade is
stating
big.
that this is a
Oh,
if else statement.
like that.
This is a
Everything
comment
same.
stating that this is a
They are planning.
unconditional statement. So these two are code. I should not comment this. Either I should remove the comment or delete the entire text. Okay. So please have make a note of
But
this practice.
okay.
You should
Yes,
only
sir. You
comment
also
the
waiting. Stand
text
like a third
for
row.
only
Row
document
third.
purpose. So meaning that it should state
Yeah.
some reference to
Zero to
the
will be here only.
coder or developer, whosoever is accessing the code. So if
Point.
someone let's say who is not part of this session gets this code, so he or she will be able to understand that okay, this is a comment stating that this is a if else statement, likewise the other things. Okay. Now next non-conditional statement is the break part. So where the
God
break is
can't
used,
understand anything.
we will learn in loops. Okay, but just to show you a quick demo, break is nothing, but it is asking the JavaScript uh, compiler that once the statement, for example, I am explaining this code. So it says like this is a where counter equal to 0. Now where loop is equal
Today
to
holiday,
0,
no?
where loop less than 5, loop plus plus 1. So if loop is equal to 3, then the statement should, I mean this loop should break,
Okay, okay.
else
Just want to
counter
leave
plus
it.
plus.
Hmm.
So it will continue to increase the counter.
Yeah, are we with
Sorry, it will continue to increase the
Oh,
loop
but you're not
until and
satisfied.
unless the loop is equal to 3. So once this statement becomes true, the entire code will be breaking, and
Yeah.
the output will be generated. So quickly I'll copy this and show you the demo as well. So let me comment this out. Okay, there are so many spaces. Let me.
Oh, okay. Drop on the road.
So I'll save it. Let me go back to my browser.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
Really very
actually there is nothing
Oh,
visible. So what I'll do,
it was very purple
I'll
person.
type console. Okay. Dot log will
Kita please
write
call one. May I come?
loop.
She message please call.
Okay. Save it. Yeah. So you can see uh, when the loop is zero is getting zero is getting printed because the break is not encountered. This condition is false. Okay, so that's why break is not getting activated or executed. Okay, so now next counter plus plus one loop is changed to one. One is not equal, the condition is false, it is getting printed. Two again printed. Now after 2 is printed, the counter plus plus says that loop has changed its value to 3. Now 3 is equal to 3, definitely yes. So the condition becomes true. So next, if the condition is true, the break statement will be executed. So if break is executed, the we are coming out of this loop statement, coming out of the entire block. So that's why only 0, 1, 2, 3 are printed. Likewise, if you want to increase, you can increase to 4 or 5. So now 3 till 3 it will be printed. So this is break statement, which is used in coming out of loop, breaking the entire code, breaking the loop, closing the loop. Okay. Now next, another third type of non-conditional is the continue. So continue is just the opposite version of what say the break. Okay. So there, if the condition is true, it gets break. Now, if the condition is true, it will still continue to print till all the keywords are, I mean, all the loop values are being printed. So I'll change this to 3 and I'll write continue over here. Okay. Now quickly save it. Yeah. So you can see all the code, all the values are printed of loop. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not 5? Because the loop is less than
From 3 weeks we are coming
5.
Monday.
So if you want 5, you have to
Monday.
give equal to. Okay. So that's
Out
the
of our knowledge,
condition.
actually, we are losing our
Or I mean,
time.
these are the
Can't
three
understand anything.
non-conditional statement. First one, comment, we already know what are
Conditional
comments.
statement.
Okay. Second one is the break part. We use break to come out of the loop, to end the
For
statement.
bank report.
Okay.
We will come at 5.
The third non-conditional statements are
Before
continue.
filling
Okay.
here, we call to Ravi. What's your
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, please go ahead.
Do we use a
हाँ
written
बिफोर
zero
दैट आई नो
here in this Java
कॉर्नर प्लेस राइट
script?
ओके before this was called to Ravi. What
Return statement is
right?
there. Return is a keyword we use, but not that frequently. Once we are once we will learn the classes and functions and all, no, at that time we will encounter the return part. So
Okay,
return
so
generally,
basically,
yeah,
what is the difference between return zero and break?
yeah. So break is just a statement saying that
Friday night
if the statement is true, you come out of the loop. Okay, meaning that don't go down. I mean, don't execute any of the code which is written below.
हाँ it will take time.
While return statement says that it is not used in the condition part, mostly with the expressions part we use. So a return says that return certain value, like if you have a expression of let's say a plus b or a
What is
multiply
there in
b,
Ravi?
so what should be
What
the
is there in
value to be returned?
hot and
Okay,
dry?
so that it returns the value. If nothing is there, it will return zero. Okay, or else the exact value of the
Okay, sir.
Take it one to all of it also. Oh, oh, we did class long back. We will. Oh, oh. I'll take. I'll keep it. Sorry, ladies, we lost Braj, I think so. He is joining back. Okay, please wait for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, learning to what's that? Okay, learning internal group something is there, no? Yo, Braj, this, this coach has left.
hello, am I audible now?
Yes, friends.
Yes,
Yeah,
Braj, we lost you actually.
yeah, sorry, there was a network issue.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll continue. Yeah, so that query was clear to you, correct? What's the difference between return and break? Yes, no?
Actually, my question was, what is the difference between break and return zero? Because what I heard is that if we use break, then it just come out of that loop, particular loop which we use in our program. But when we use that return zero, so I heard that the whole program gets terminated at that particular time. So I was not sure if that was right or wrong.
Okay, fine, then we'll see. Let me run that particular code.
Bridge, your screen is not visible.
Oh, okay, let me share.
Yes, Raj.
Yeah, hi. I would like to interrupt. Yeah, Braj,
Yeah,
can I answer this question?
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, hi. Good afternoon. Good morning. So
Hello.
Yeah, Meenakshi, you are not audible. Meenakshi, ma'am.
Meenakshi, there's some. I'm not able to hear. We are not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Hmm?
If she comes back, she will add. I'll tell you, this return statement will not work. I hope my screen
hello.
is visible. Yeah, Meenakshi, you're audible now.
Yeah. You are doing. You are sharing your screen. You can explain, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
How she will do that?
So if you write this return statement, okay, it will not be executed. Let me put it on top only. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is a syntax error. I'll tell you, explain you the difference. First, you already know the difference that return and break. Break is simply asking the code to come out of the loop, meaning do not execute anything beyond the break statement. Simply come out of the loop. Return is generally used for the expression part, not the conditional evaluation part. Return statement returns a value. Okay, so if there is some expressions like some multiplication, then it will return the value or it will return zero. Okay, if there is no arguments or parameters passed, then the value should return the sum of the expression should give zero, or else the exact value which is calculated. So return will is used for the expression part, not the conditional statements, not on the conditional statements. I hope it is clear now.
Braj, as you said, like the return statement will be used for the function modules, like when we pass any arguments along with the functions, right? Then only we will be using the return statement.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next topic. Yeah, switch statements and all. I would request you to please go through on your own. The tryouts and quiz are simple. Why I am skipping the switch part is that it is not frequently used as part of the practice, but it is quite similar and easy, similar to the other programming languages if you have learned. So it works the same case. We have a we write a switch, we write an expression. This is a different case we write, and then along with the break statement. So here the non-conditional statement, which is the second one, the break, is used here, because if you don't use break, all the cases will be printed or all the cases will be executed. So that's why the break is used. Or the last statement or the default statement is code. Even if the statement is true, sorry, false, nothing will be executed, but the default code will definitely be executed. So it works same. I'm not going to show the demo. You can execute on your system. Please try out the all the try out sections and quizzes. Moving on to the next topic. This is again a very important topic to learn in the JavaScript series. Similar to any other language, we also have loops in, sorry, .js. We also have loops in our JavaScript. Okay, so we'll see. Just a minute. Let me fix this first. Yeah. So where are loops can be used? Let us just understand. First, it is mostly used to reduce the redundancy or the repetition of the code. So in case you want to execute same thing again and again, so there is a, if let's say 5 or 10 times you want to do something, that is easy, you can write. Imagine same task you have to do 100 times, 1,000 times. It requires a lot of manual effort. So to reduce the repetition or redundancy, we call it, this is a technical term in the code. So if you want to reduce that, for that purpose we use loops, and it is very common in all the programming languages, okay, because it is very useful. So I'll say, let for example, you want to print console dot or shakti. Okay,
What you're asking, how
so
you
if I
get the
execute this, it will give me Har Shakti. Now, if I want to write this 10 times, so one way is to copy paste it 10 times. Okay, sorry, save. So this is only 10 statements, we can easily copy paste it. But what if I wanted to, execute it 100 times? It's a very tedious job. Nobody will sit and, do the copy pasting thing. So for that purpose, we are creating loops. So first, a very popular loop is known as for loop. Okay. So how does for loop works? So inside this, there will be three statements. Okay. First statement is the initializing statement. So we will initialize it. We will give a variable name and we will initialize it with 1. Okay, so first we are declaring let a is equal to I. Equal to means that we are initializing I with 1. Okay, now I is declared and initialized. Now what we do next is, next statement, first statement is initializing, second is the stopping condition. Stopping condition meaning where you want this loop to closed, because you should not run a never ending loop. Okay, so we will write a condition, let's say less than
okay?
equal to, same task I'll do it, 10. Okay, I plus plus. So first one is the initializing condition, second one is the stopping condition, the third one is the updation condition. This will update the loop counter. Okay, the counter part will increase. Now next is, I'll inside this I'll paste this. Now see, before I written 10 line of code to execute my to get the desired output. Now I only written 2 line of code,
Yeah.
still I'll be getting my desired output. Yeah, you cannot see that because in the browser it shows as a counter. You can
What?
see this 10. 10 here means
It was
that
on plain only.
Har Shakti is
You show
printed, or the output of the output of the code is given 10 times.
हाँ.
Okay.
Ah,
If you can't, see this, I'll increase the number. You will see, for example, let me put 10,000 times I want to print her Shakti. Now just see, I'll be saving it again.
7. What? There.
Yeah,
7.
now it's running. Can you see the counter is increasing? It will increase till 10,000. Okay. So imagine the amount of code and the amount of hard work it reduces the for loop condition. Okay, there are all the other loops are also there. The for loops is mostly widely used. Okay, now this part is clear, I hope. We'll see another example. Yeah, so before we move on to the example part, so I was mentioning about the condition, stopping condition. So if you run any never ending loop, the problem will occur is the your compiler, the browser will be, it will hang, it will it will not respond. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. You also please don't do it. If you want to do it up, after this session. Okay. So the nothing will happen to your system as a whole. Okay, no hardware software thing will be in trouble. It's just that the browser memory will be, because by generating this code, by executing this code, we are creating a memory. So the CPU memory will be blocked. So that's the thing which happens.
Hmm.
So 10,000 memory blocks are created. Okay, although it's storing a one bit of less than a bit of data only, but again the memory is getting blocked.
Nagiretti is not
So
lady.
that is one thing.
Ah.
So as a good practice, as a uh,
I'll
good
Pancha
programmer,
sir
you
will
should
come.
never run
I'll take
never
that one.
ending loops. Okay.
Cover.
Now some people
Oh,
would have a doubt that what if I want to access the
come.
I
Yes, yes, for that only.
the initializing statement outside the block. So as you all
It's
know
covered, right?
that this particular thing is the having the keyword
Oh, it
as
will come.
let. So let here is a block level scope, so you cannot access outside. So I'll show you. You will see some error saying that uh, I is not clear or something like that. We'll see. Let me change this to 10 only. Yeah. So I is not defined. So we have not defined I because let is block level scope identifier. So if you want to access this, so you can use it doing where. So if I print this and I save it, it will be printed 11. So if you want,
Too
just
fast, huh?
why I'm showcasing this is first to explain the where and the let scope of this identifier. Second is, by any chance you want to know what's the updated value of I or any other variable if you have used, like for example count, loop, or any other ijkl, whatever you have used, you want to know the count, the updated last value of that. So this particular console log, you have to print it to generate the output, the final output. So where can be used in such cases. But again, we stick to only let and const. Now, this is first type of
Next,
loop, that is for loop.
ah,
Okay, so we'll see. Yeah, so there are three type of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So for loop we have already seen, explained with the example. Okay, same initializing statement, test condition, and the update statement and condition. Now a while loop and do while loop I'll show. So first of all, there is uh, no, I mean, it's not that for loop is there is some problem, or s- um, some demerits we have with for loop, so that we have moved on to the other loops. Nothing like that. You can execute all kind of codes. All your requirements will be met using for loop,
Sound is irritating.
only for loop as well. But there are two loops as well in the programming language. So we'll just quickly look at it. Okay, we won't see much of the examples. Okay, so first one is while loop. So but the thing is, representation matters. So here you can see the syntax will change. So in so in while loop, what we have to do, we will be initializing it outside the block. Okay, so we'll write let I equal to 1, and we'll write while. Now here we will give the condition I is less than equal to 10. Okay, now bracket open, we'll write console. Okay, so this is the condition of while. Yeah, I forgot to write the updation condition. So first is initializing the test condition or the stopping condition. Now the updation condition should be written inside the block only. Please make a note of that. I plus plus, and now we will execute this. So let me go back. Okay, so we'll comment this out, just a minute. Sorry. Yeah, so now it will work. Yeah, 10 Harshakti. So Harshakti is getting printed by 10 times. Okay, so this is a simple way to write the while loop. The logic remains the same, that we want to print the Harshakti 10 times. Only thing, the syntax will get changed. Same way, the do while loop will also work. Okay, do while. But there is one interesting thing associated with do while. I'll tell you, just a minute. Let me just write the condition first. While do, sorry, console log.
Hi, Prach. One
Yeah,
question regarding while. Can we give here the return statement in while loop?
yeah, we can try that. Just a minute. No, it's an illegal statement. Since I told you, it will the return is generally used for an expression. You want to return a value. Okay, so it is generally used for an arithmetic condition, expressions and all. Okay, or a
Because
boolean.
it while is having a condition like for boolean value returns, right? So we
Hmm.
are here, we are using return 0. That means it's not possible.
No.
Okay.
Actually, return 0 is using in the C program like in the main function, right? If we want to come out from the main function or exit that program, we can specify return of 0. That means it is exiting from the main function. That's it. Normal return in JavaScript means it is returning some value, I think.
Yes, correct, ma'am. Thank you for adding. So please don't get confused with other programming languages. JavaScript is
But I would like to answer that actually the written statement is used from a function. Like if we are calling a function, in that function, from that function, a value can be returned. But like in the C, in the C at that time, it was a main function. But here, like while is not inside any function. Like if you put this while statement inside any function or then call that function, then I think that written function will work. But because here this while statement is not inside any function, so that's why this is giving error, because written statement should be inside any from the any function. That's why I think it's giving the problem here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we'll now look at the do while statement. It is similar to while statement only. The only thing is here we are writing the while statement in first. Here we will write at the last. Okay. And rest of the things remain same. The only thing is, since it's a do while, we will write the do keyword first, and then the condition remains same. Now, what is the difference between while and do while? You'll get to know after the next condition I'll put. Okay. So let me just quickly run this so that it generates the same output as Shakti. Just a minute. Let me save it. It's taking time. We'll go live. Yeah, 10 Harshakti. Okay, the same output is being generated. Now, the main purpose of this do while loop is that it will be executed at least once, even the condition is false. Okay, so for example, here the I is less than equal to 10. It is true. The condition is true, so that's why it is again going back inside the loop and following all the code, and then updating itself, checking the condition. So now if I change this value to, let's say, 15, so which is a false statement. Okay, 15 is a false statement. Still I will be getting at least one time the Harshakti will be printed. So you can see Harshakti is getting printed at least one time. So that's the thing. If this is the requirement in your website or anywhere in the code, you can use do while, because you need to print at least one time, even the condition is false, you want to see the output, you can use do while. Else, for the majority of the time you will be using for loop condition, which is a very popular and a common loop used in all the programming languages. Okay, I hope all the three loops are clear to you. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, Braj.
Yeah. So now next we'll move on to the functions part. Yeah. So in JavaScript we have two type two type of functions. One is user defined functions. The other is built-in functions. So built-in functions are the ones which is already provided by JavaScript. You don't have to do much of your work. Just understand the use case and use it whenever you are required. The user defined is very interesting function, wherein the JavaScript allows you to write your own function. Okay, and you can define it, you can give it in any name, and it will work in a similar fashion. Okay, so before I jump on to the user defined, I'll quickly finish the built-in function because it's a very simple plain topic. Okay, so built-in function is nothing but, as I told you, certain functions which are already being provided by JavaScript to you. Okay. So these are the few examples. You need not, revise or, memorize everything. As you go, whenever it is required, you will be able to, learn it. Okay. One of the popular I'll show you, that is, one is the alert. This one I had showed you in the very first class as well. So alert function is nothing but it will give an alert. So if I type alert, okay, I'll type Infosys Springboard, press enter, this pop-up will come. Okay, this is another alert function. Now another is confirm. It just confirms the thing. Now prompt is another interesting, very commonly used built-in function. Here, similar to what we are seeing in the generative AI, the prompt engineering and all, meaning it is asking from the prompt. So if, since up till now we have never asked the user to send, give the input. We have already given the input here. So what if you want to ask the user to give the input? So for that purpose, this particular function is built, which is known as prompt function. Okay, I'll show you, just a minute. Let me create a new file, just a minute. Function.js. I'll quickly close all this. Yeah, so function.js. What were we discussing? The prompt. Okay, so I'll show you the first prompt built-in type. So we were discussing first built-in function. Okay, so first one we saw what is alert. Okay, nothing is just the pop-up which comes into the screen. Okay, so let me save it. Let me go back. Okay, same, next. Prompt. So it will ask for the prompt. So let me ask, write a code, enter your name. Okay. So if I save it, yeah, enter your name. I'll write it, Braj. Okay, yeah. So why I can't see this display? Because it is not being, there is no console log statement. So I'll write the console log, sorry, log statement, and here I will write name. Sorry, it's I'll write full name. Sorry, f small. Yeah, now this won't work because full name, there it will throw an error because full name is not been initialized or declared. So what I'll do, this prompt value you are entering, so it has to be stored somewhere. So what I'll do, I'll store it here in this let full name equal to. Okay, now it will work. So I'll write Braj. Yeah, you can see my name is getting generated. So it is another popular in building function prompt. Same way there are other functions like in nan. Nan is nothing but uh, condition or a function, sorry, is a function or a condition, you can say, to check whether this particular is a number or not. Okay, is not a number. Okay, is not a number. So it checks that. Same way is finite, parse int. parse float, evaluate. I think another page 2 is also there. Yeah, set timeout, clear timeout, set interval. So all this, whenever you are required, you can, use these functions. You can check. Okay, generally what we as a developer or a coder, we don't memorize all these things. Whenever it is required, we see that, we are getting this sort of requirement from the the problem statements. So first we try to solve it from our basic functions, or whatever it is available. Now we, before executing, going for the built-in functions, we just for 1 minute or so, we go to this documentation and we check whether the built-in function is are there any built-in functions available or not. So I believe Prithvi would have shared one link which is of the JavaScript documentation. If not, I'll tell you what you have to do. You have to just type mdn. Okay, mdn JavaScript. Okay, mdn JavaScript. If you search the first thing, this is the Mozilla developer web docs for JavaScript. So this particular website, if you go and check, all the updated versions and documentation of JavaScript will be present. So you can read according to your need. So built-in objects, functions. If you go, you can see all these classes. So all the documentation is provided. So I'll quickly paste this link in the chat for your easy reference. Yeah, you can bookmark this. This is official website for all the developers. Now built-in function is over. Now I'll show you some simple functions, which is the user defined functions. Yeah, so there are few ways to declare write the function. Okay, so first of all, the function should not be a keyword, and to write a function you should use a keyword called function to specify whether it's a function or it's a variable, or it's a a class or object. Function keyword will be used, and you should not use any other keyword for naming your function. Likewise, there will be some syntax to be used. So we'll see syntax, how to write and all, not to worry. So I'll quickly comment this out. Now I'll write user defined function. User, yeah. So function, if you want to write, you have to mention function first. Now I'll write some function. Let's suppose we were using this loop condition. Okay, we were trying to print our Harshakti name 10 times. So we use the loop, and it got the code got decreased to 2 lines. Now imagine what if you,
Hello.
yeah,
Dr.
so imagine if you want to print it again, in your code, again later time, later on your code. So what you will do, you will again write a full for loop and then execute. Correct. So for loop is used to reduce the redundancy. Now you should not use for loop again and again for the same use or same condition. Okay, so if I want to print the Harshakti or the Infosys Springboard name again multiple times, so I mean, first I'll put a I can use for loop one condition. Now, if I want to repeat it again and again throughout my code, so I won't be typing that. For that purpose, JavaScript provide us with something called as function. So function is a function. We have seen there are two types. One is built-in function. What is default functions, you can say. The other is the user-defined function. So in user-defined function, you can write any kind of functions, whatever your wishes. So I want to make that repeat that process of writing 10 times the Harshakti name. Okay, so for example, function, I'll name it as my function. Okay, so let it behave as my function. So this is the syntax. Now inside this I'll write console dot log Harshakti. Okay, now this is done.
Have this no exams are going on.
Okay, there is no, why it is not getting printed, because we have not called our function. So function, this is, this we have just declared our function. Now we will call our function. How to
Yeah.
call any function in JavaScript? Simply type the function name and use this will call your function. So this will print her Shakti. Now I can put this in the for loop if I want to do it 10 times. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go to loop,
Friday evening.
I'll copy this, I'll go to
Sorry,
function,
I'm going Saturday morning,
I'll
sir.
paste it here.
Like train. We are going on train by
Okay,
5 minutes.
now you can see 10 times her Shakti is written printed.
No, have to
Now
pack it.
imagine if I write some
Like
other
I
line of
said to
code.
the other that
Okay,
I'm doing Friday
and
only.
I came
I can't come to
uh,
office, no. Have to
after
pack everything.
certain
And my
executing
father
certain
gonna
lines
leave
of
on
code.
Friday
Now I want to print
evening
her Shakti.
for
Okay,
this.
now how to do that?
I said I'll tell to her
Now
like
if you
that.
again you want to print her Shakti, then declaring this
Hmm.
her Shakti or for loop in function comes into the picture. Now
Even
you
me.
don't have to write this for loop again and again. One time you have written inside the function. Now wherever throughout the code you want to execute her Shakti 10 times, you can do that simply what, by calling your function. So one time we have already done, you can see one time is there. Now I want another time, it has to be do. So I'll simply copy paste it, so it will be printed 2 times. Just a minute, I forgot to save it. So you can see 10 times, another 10 times it has been printed. So n number of times I want to print, I will print it without writing my code. So what we are trying to do uh, is that we are trying to reduce the repetition or the redundancy in the code. Okay, so that's the main purpose of function. Other than that, there are various other functions also, we will see one by one. Now let me just remove this. This is a very easy, simple explanation to declare any function. Okay, for loop I have added just for your reference purpose. Otherwise I can remove this. Apart from this, you can also pass write some expressions also. Okay, now how
I
to
have to
do
keep
that?
on check on the
Now again
screen
I'll
recording, no?
will copy this one, I'll type message. So for example, I want to specify my message what I actually want. So I'll console log, I'll remove this, I don't want her Shakti now. I'll type message. Okay, now this won't be executed, I mean this won't generate any output as such. Okay, because
Hey, is this veg
why?
or non-veg? This one is not.
The
It's
function
very
is
sad
not
that the full edges
getting
by
called.
one side the
Now even if you call your function, still
Hmm.
nothing will be executed. Sorry,
Braj, I think the voice was breaking for me.
this
I
is
don't know
an
for her.
parameter, you have not passed any arguments to. Now also,
Yeah, it was breaking.
Could you please repeat
now
it?
it's, yeah, now it is fine.
Eh,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Raj.
yeah, I'll repeat. So this is another use of function wherein we are trying to pass any arguments to it. So Previously it was showing us the default console what we have given in the code. Now there is a parameter called message. Now if you want to call your my function, you can call it, but nothing will be printed because it is not being any arguments are not passed, so undefined, it is not yet defined. So we'll write, now I want to change this to Infosys Springboard. Now Infosys Springboard will be printed. Okay, so that's the another way. Now similar to the text or the string, we can now write the expressions also. Now if I want to write a plus b, console log a plus b, I'll say sum of a and b, or a plus b is equal to plus my function. Just a minute. Sorry. While you are writing this, it is used mainly in the what say your. I mean, it will be. You should not use plus while writing the console log in the loop. So for better way, you can use comma. Okay. Now another thing is this particular statement or the function has to be stored somewhere. We have not stored it, so for that purpose we will be writing something called as uh, let's say sum. Will make another sum. We'll write a plus b. Okay, now here we will be printing, sorry, here we will be printing the sum. Okay, now let's go. Okay, fine, this should be comma. Now it will work, I guess. Yeah, it's working. So let's go. We will write, for example, we want to sum of the two. Will write like, for example, 2 comma 3. If I say, sorry, it's that's the thing, I'll change it. I'll change this to sum only, then it should work now. Yeah, sum comma 2 comma 3. Sorry, forgot to enter 2 comma 3. Yeah. So now you can see sum of a plus b, that is 2 plus 3 is 5. So the thing is, it will work with the